Most people want to invest in real estate, but they never actually start. They tell themselves they need more time, more money, or the perfect deal, and they end up stuck on the sidelines. Moose Math has been in this business long enough to see what really holds beginners back and what it takes to finally make that first move. I'm Benji, the producer of the DealMachine podcast, where we help real estate investors find and close off-market deals. In this conversation, David and Moose break down how to actually get started, from house hacking to partnering on your first deal, even if you don't have much money. David's videographer, Chris, sits down with Moose to ask the beginner questions that everyone's thinking. And you'll hear the exact advice that could help you actually make your first move in real estate.
You said you're in the payoff phase right now?
Yeah.
What are, because I'm not in the game as much as a lot of other people here, I just do the media, but what are the other previous phases that you go through, and then how long do you spend in each of those?
So you're not in the game. Let me ask you questions first.
Okay.
Why not? Why aren't you in the game?
Not yet.
Well, the thing is, because this is the biggest mistake, that my experience are two things. One is contractors, right? Man, you only know what you know until somebody teaches you something different.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are just learning from our parents. So there's so many contractors out there who want to be in the game, and they're working for a bunch of investors or agents and so forth, but they're not. Nobody's taught them to really get into the game themselves, right? And that's the same thing, like even with you now, right? You're doing social media stuff, and like, dude, you've got the easiest, the best access. If you're this close to Dave, right? Then, dude, why aren't you doing the work, right? To actually, because the reality is it's all right in front of you. And for a lot of people, like they're scared or nervous or, shy to always ask for help. And that's me too for a long time, because sometimes I don't know what to ask either, except for it's finding the deal is the hardest part, finding the money is the easiest part, because the money's everywhere, and the sooner you get clear on, I think this morning when Michael did his presentation, I don't know, were you there?
Yes, I saw it, yeah.
Okay, I thought he did a phenomenal job talking about one at a time, and this is such a simple thing. Except for people, the unfortunate part is we're wanting too fast.
Right.
Because you see people making a ton of money so fast now, but but you have access to it. And to answer your question in regards to what does that look like for payoff, is that what you're asking me?
All right. What for phases?
Phases.
You said you're in the payoff phase, right?
Yeah. So the first phase, you got to accumulate. Right. So if you're accumulating, like for you, do you own your own home?
No, I rent.
You rent. So the sooner you start freaking house hacking, for the first, you said, you heard Michael, he said, I buy a fourplex,
right,
live there for 2 years, triplex, duplex. So you got to accumulate as many doors as you can for the retirement number you're looking for. Okay. Majority of entrepreneurs, okay, the retirement number, if life was perfect, is, I'll just, I don't put you on the spot, but majority of people is $20,000. They say, well, if you want to retire, I want $15,000 coming a month or $20,000 coming a month, right? That's for majority of people.
Right.
And so you got to get enough rentals to get to that 15,000 or 20,000. And so that was always my number, but then it kept going and going, and I'm way beyond the what I ever expected.
Right.
Right. And the cool part now is like, okay, well, I just need to focus on the payoff part, but you got to just know what your number is. And when I first started working back in the 2006, 8, I used to cold call with that in a freaking trailer. We had this little trailer back of the office. It was just nasty.
God. Yeah.
And I've always said, oh man, you know what? I want 20 doors and $1,000 a door, because that's what homes are renting for. But now you're getting a lot of rentals are like $2,500, $3,500, a door, and the higher the rent, the better the renter. Again, man, like anything else, man, the hardest thing about it all is just getting started. That was the one thing, How long have you been investing in?
8 years.
8 years too.
Yep.
And what caused you to buy your first one?
I worked for a guy who wanted to retire by the age of 40. And actually, when I was working for him, I saw that he bought rentals as his way to retire by the age of 40. So I was inspired by that. I was like, it sounds great. I'm going to go do that and look for a rental property as well. So I couldn't find one that cash flowed that was listed with an agent. So I found out you need to go look for a rundown house. And that's how I started acquiring my first property. In the meantime, in the middle of that, I realized I should just buy my own house and rent out the bedrooms.
Okay.
So I bought that from an agent. It was a 5-bedroom house where an investor added 2 bedrooms in the basement.
Okay.
And then I rented out some of those, and that reduced my living expenses right away.
So you're house hacking?
Yeah, I started off with house hacking. Still own it today, but it's just a pure rental now.
Which is
and
great.
then the second house I got was actually a 600 square foot house.
Whoa.
It was in Indianapolis is where all my
Okay.
19 properties are now. And
Yeah,
so I did like
why
a
there?
70,000 reno because I lived there.
Oh, okay.
So I did like a 70,000 reno on that little one, and then it was worth 130. So it was a full burr, and then that's how I got started. And just keep doing
So
deals like that.
Would you keep investing out of state? Because you live in Austin.
Yeah, I
right?
bought 6 last year.
Mhm.
It continued to do that in Indianapolis because I could just plug the property into my system. I've already got the contractors. I've already got the management
So you're-
dialed in.
so you're staying-
Correct. So I'd rather just plug it into the system than try to have to build a new system in Austin right now.
So knowing what you know, you've been doing 8 years now, and you know you go out to a bunch of conferences, and you know you have this company you have a company that specializes in finding stuff. So what are the tips and tricks that you would tell somebody who, I guess, one is a beginner, let's say like Chris, and somebody who's seasoned like me, you know? And that's probably multiple questions. What would you say? You know what, man? Knowing what you know today,
Yep.
you know, 8 years later,
Yep.
bro, this is what I would do.
Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah. Well, you say to Chris first, then you said what would you do for a season?
Yeah, I think the best thing is for Chris is to get a house in Austin where he can rent out bedrooms. And you mentioned a duplex, triplex, but I would even feel comfortable if he does to just do an actual single family house, right? If he feels comfortable having roommates, I would go that direction.
Right.
Yeah. Because it's just the easiest thing you could do, and it doesn't really cost you anything extra. When you have to put down 3.5%, it's like almost nothing.
Yeah.
And the mortgage, it may even be lower than what you pay in rent in Austin.
It's expensive there, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
The taxes is what really is the tipping
Right.
point. And
I would tell you the one thing that I've learned. So I'm fortunate, you know, because you know the guy that you know has that's and Cammy always been mentored by is the owner of our John and Scott company. His name is Saul.
Okay.
So
He's the owner of what company?
John and Scott.
What is that, John?
John and Scott they have franchises, and so it's a real estate company. And
Is it a brokerage?
It's a brokerage.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yep. And so he owned 2 offices, which is the franchise, and so Saul has always mentored, you know, Thatch and Cammy, and so I'm fortunate, you know, I'm in the same office, and so you've been fortunate to be mentored by Saul too, and you know, everything we do now, I mean, probably for you too, and it's going to be the same for you when you buy your first, is based on, does it fit your lifestyle? Right, and today when Michael was talking, I was like, okay, I'm adjusting my lifestyle, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm giving up 10 years because the next cycle is coming, right? So, you know, it's got to make sense for your lifestyle, but man, knowing what I know today for being, you know, younger, and I freaking be crushing it and changing
Yeah.
all that, you know?
I will say I was turned on to that strategy early, and I saved 50% of everything in most of my 20s.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, the first like probably 6 years of
Okay.
my 20s. So.
Yeah, there's so many, what I'm seeing today, there's so many young people out there hustling and love this real estate game, and it's like, they're just learning how to find deals.
Mhm.
But what's the percentage of people who are age-wise are you seeing use the software now?
Oh, I haven't looked at
Do you
the
track that?
age of the users of our software.
That'd be
I
interesting.
actually don't know that yet.
That'd be interesting.
On the flip side, we have the age and birth month of every person in the United States available to you in the app. And that's super special with vacant land owners, because typically only older people sell their land.
Yeah.
So the land flippers love that age filter.
Oh, really?
If you didn't know about it,
Yeah,
it's
I
definitely
didn't
in
know.
there.
Yeah.
And it's fully filled for everyone, and it's active.
Is it different? Is it different? You know, different parts of the states, right? You know, or the country when you're looking for vacant land. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, the age is for everyone in the U.S. and it's
Okay.
accurate, it's filled in, and it's
Okay.
good. So
So why would somebody? I mean, like obviously, I live in Seattle.
Yeah.
And you know, give me an example. Of
Yeah.
What would I do for the land tab, or what would I do?
you'd search vacant land.
Okay.
You do less than half an acres if you're looking for an infill lot that's like never got built on in a subdivision that already exists.
Okay.
And then you do contact is the owner, yes, and then you do contact age is over 75.
and that would
Over
give you
70, okay.
yeah, or 70,
Yeah,
something like that.
got it.
Because it's typically, if you talk to the land, as I have, the land flipping guys, they're always like, yeah, the older people are the ones who sell their land.
Yeah.
Everyone younger typically is wanting to hang on to it.
Do you? I mean, there's so many ways to break down this thing, but it's like, you know, you ever wonder, like, people who own more than 5 properties or 10 properties, you know, and certain ages, and then you know, what's the likelihood of them selling and so forth. But you know, there's so much. The data's crazy.
I will say Jeff Colin in the Bay Area.
Jeff, yeah.
Yeah, he's done 47 deals this year.
Okay.
And I was very surprised by the size of his list is quite small.
Yeah.
I almost didn't believe it, but he showed
Really?
me. And I think he targets people that own multiple properties as well.
Yeah.
So some of the people that are most efficient with their marketing end up being people that do own a lot of properties.
Okay.
But if you look at the deals I've done, most of my deals that I did were actually owner occupied. So that's not people who own multiple properties. So,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. There's not like a perfect list.
Yeah. There's no perfect.
Correct.
You know. No, I mean, like anything else, you just gotta keep going. You know, 'cause
100%. Yeah.
and they keep coming. You know.
Yes, having commitment and then staying consistent,
Yeah.
because you don't get a deal, you know, every month, but you might get 2 deals 1 month
Right.
and no deals to pass.
So, are you still investing? Are you cherry picking stuff now, yourself, or is that what you're doing?
I've got 19 properties, like I said. I bought
Yeah.
6 last year, just got 1 this year.
Mhm.
So I do my own marketing with in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
So I've basically filtered out, first of all, the properties that are 3-bedroom, 2-bath. That's what I want, with a yard.
Yeah.
And I don't want them more than $200,000 ARV.
Okay.
Right? Because if in Indianapolis you can get a house, I want it 200,000 all in, and I want it to rent for $2,000.
Okay.
And then I want to be all in like 150. So it's a full burr.
Yeah.
But if I go too low, the tenants are going to be a lower dollar amount and maybe more of a problem.
Yeah.
And I also don't want to go too high, because people don't rent properties much above, you know, $2,500
I
a
was gonna
month.
ask you. I was like,
They just buy it.
Yeah.
Correct. So there's a peak in our market of
Right.
too high.
Right.
People won't rent that. So that's pretty much my sweet spot, and I try to filter all that down first, and then the big ones like building condition, poor,
Right.
and
Do you guys do percentages? Or just,
What do you mean?
You know, like when you go in the county, you have like the house assessment, and you have the structure assessment.
So we have that in DealMachine. You
Yeah.
can look at the value of it, but I really just look at the estimated value,
Got it.
and I say, don't give me anything below 100,000,
Right.
and don't give me anything above 300,000.
Right.
So that's just a rough filter to get out some of the junk that I wouldn't be able to do a deal with anyway.
Yeah.
I look at the distressed properties through the Google images. It can tell me if it's distressed
Oh
or not.
wow.
Yep. So that's one. The county, a lot of counties also have a building condition, so you could start
Yeah.
there because it's cheaper. The AI costs like 2 cents to look at each property.
Yeah.
But so start with the building condition, and that's from the county.
That's what I like to
Yeah.
use, the building condition of, like, you know, under, let's say 40% or something like that.
Some counties just put everything as average.
Yeah.
And so that's when I would then pick the AI up and have it go look and tell me what's distressed or not. So then it's just about marketing to those, and then I'll also pick out the tax delinquent ones. But that's pretty much how I market in Indianapolis.
Right. So at what point do you feel like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna switch from Indianapolis back to my backyard, or are you
Yeah, I
gonna
don't know.
stay there? You know?
I haven't switched yet, and I've been in Austin 4 years, so
Mhm.
I don't know.
Got it. You know, you
The
just
ADU play wouldn't work in Indianapolis, but in Austin, it's obviously
It's
already a
happening,
thing.
yeah.
So that would be the attractive part about doing it in Austin. Plus, I could be there to be with the deal. But then it's
Yeah.
like, what am I going to do with it next? And I got to find a contractor, manager, maybe someday. I don't know.
Yeah, just curious, you know, because
Yeah.
like I said, you're on the way. So Chris, by when are you gonna, you know, make this thing happen, bro?
Yeah, we want a commitment.
Yes,
Yeah. By when, bro?
I think with in the next 2 years.
Dude.
When I first started, well, the thing is right now I'm very income driven.
Okay, that's good.
So I'm building up, because that's you know, as Dave Ramsey says, you have the most control over that, right? So when you have like a higher income,
Yeah.
a lot of doors unlock. But then I'm like, what happens if you just kind of, you know how you said, where you just thought 5 or 10 or 15 rentals was good, but then you just kept going, right? So that's what I'm kind of worried about right now. It's like, what if I just keep growing the income but never really put it back into something.
I would tell you that income is super important,
Yeah.
okay, but not as important as just finding your first deal.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because you can go find this deal and you can be a partner with somebody
Mm-hmm.
and put up zero money, and you still own 50%.
How is that possible?
I did that.
I've done it many times.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is an example that you only know what you know until someone teaches you or show you how to do it. Okay, but literally the hardest part is learning how to find deals. Okay, and you have direct access, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. Literally, you find the deal, and if the deal is sweet enough, you can say, hey, you know what, David, I got this deal. These are the numbers. You know what? I'll do all the work or whatever. Will you put up 50? Will you pay for it? And then when we get done doing a refinance, then you can hop on title. Okay, it could happen all the time, and knowing what like I said, I've done 2 deals, or 3 deals that way. That I put up zero money, but now over the years of experience of learning how to deal with contractors, you're around enough support that you can learn that besides doing your regular day job and earning your money. Okay, but at least a lot of people wait till they have a lot of money, then they can buy the first deal.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to just tell you. Don't wait.
Right.
I'd rather learn how to still make a lot of money, but learn how to go find your next step of finding deals. People
I like that.
People would love to partner up.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen is if you start asking the universe for what you want, and the clearer you are, the faster you're gonna really it's gonna come your way. Okay, the clearer you are. The problem is people are not very clear. They just are just going and going and going. And a lot of times people only ask for help is when they're in trouble.
Right.
Or ask the universe for more things when they're in trouble. And the best time to ask for things is like right now. I don't want to call you say you're on vacation, but you're away from home and you're on vacation.
Yep.
You said you're at your highest peak. Okay, which means you have the least amount of resistance in your head right now.
Okay.
Because you're just here to have fun.
Yeah.
And this is the time that you want to start asking for all the stuff you want, because it's free to ask. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. Huh.
You good?
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, dude. I'm so glad. I'm so glad we got to do the interview, man. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks for listening to the DealMachine Real Estate Investing Podcast. Please leave us a review and follow along wherever you're listening to your podcast.